I've arrived here. This is the Acadia Visitor Center, and I'm in a oversized vehicle, so I think I'm going to check here, and we're going to take the tram. So to go ahead and do the loop road, I think if my understanding was if you have a vehicle that can that's not oversized, you can just drive it. And maybe sometimes during the busiest times of the year they may make everybody do the tram, I'm not sure. So I'm going to take the tram here along the road to catch some of the scenery at Coastal and stuff, which should be nice. Gonna get a picture here, some of the seagulls and seaweed. And then here's some driving along the loop road. And again, this started out at the Acadia Visitor Center, so I just parked there and they had like the shuttle that started from there. So that's kind of nice. And then I also caught the Lower Harbor Trail, which just, you had to walk, well, we went ahead and it's just, you can walk from the visitor center parking lot to it, or if you have a vehicle and somebody doesn't want to go with you, like on the hike, if they want to stay, you can get dropped off. So it's not as long of a hike. There's no parking right at the beginning of this. It's right along the road, but they say no parking allowed there. So you have to like drop off or walk to it and then start. But it's supposed to be kind of a coastal along the water here. But it allows you to get some of like the woods, and it's been a nice path. And this trail was also from the kind of located very close to the Acadia Visitor Center, which this part of the park is a little less visited than some. And then I'm taking this is some of the footage close to Thunder Hole. I wasn't able to get footage right at Thunder Hole because it was very crowded, and this is off season because this is in October, and it was still so crowded that I went down and I got to hear it, but the tide wasn't quite the best for it either. So, but it was a very neat experience, and I definitely would recommend going by Thunder Hole. It's one of the big attraction here at Acadia National Park along the coast here, and the weather has been beautiful. And the scenery, it is very gorgeous, very nice. Trying to get a little bit of the different coast with the rocks and seaweed, and then this has a little more of that trees. Then I went down to Ship's Harbor, and this part of the park, they said, especially if you're trying to beat the crowds, like if you were in like peak season, which I think they said approximately like 2.5 million visitors per year. And they said about 75% of them are between June and September. So I imagine that it's very crowded during peak season. I think they said that, if I'm remembering right, it's the 4th most visited national park in the country. So I went ahead and caught the trail, Ship's Harbor Trail. They said there might be some nice tide pulling out here. So some of the places, like if you just want to watch look at the different seaweed, or see if you can find any crabs, or just look what you can find. is supposed to be out kind of at the end of this one. They also had mentioned that it might be a good sunset, but I don't think the angle of the sun is exactly going to be what normally I would say a trail for sunset would be. I mean, every trail must, if you're out at night around sunset, is a nice trail. But I don't really see that you're going to be able to see the sun from this angle the best. I'd wanted to go down, if you go down farther on the road before I hit this trail, it was supposed to take you to the Bass Harbor Headlight House, but that's for cars only and not oversized vehicles. So I think I'm going to miss that. But that just gives me more time on the trail to enjoy. And this has been a really beautiful trail. It may not be the most popular place in the park, but I have really enjoyed it. So Acadia National Park has got tremendous amounts of coastline. They've got Cadillac Mountain, which is one of the highest point, maybe the highest point right on the right on the ocean on the East Coast, because it's definitely not the tallest mountain on the East Coast, but like coastal, I think maybe. Anyway, I have really enjoyed my time here at Acadia National Park, and definitely recommend, if y'all haven't seen it or coming back, make sure and enjoy it. What I am getting to see, it turned out to be a beautiful sunset, but even though you couldn't like actually see the sun, but the colors were beautiful. But it is a great place to see the moon. It is absolutely gorgeous out here. And there are some really neat tide pools down in here. I didn't really find a lot. I was hoping to find maybe like sea urchin or starfish or something. Didn't find anything like that. There wasn't a lot of seaweed and neat pretty things, but not much like alive. I don't know if it's the time of year or just didn't happen to find it. So here in Acadia National Park, they did allow the dog, of course, on a leash in a lot of places, which I really appreciate. She's my girl that I take with me isn't so fond. She'd rather have a sand beach. She's not quite as fond of these rock beaches. Alright, so if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment. I'll look forward to seeing you on another video sometime at another great spot. Look forward to seeing you then. Bye.